Well, in a major victory for the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate, the UK's Westminster court has ordered the extradition of Vijay Mallya. Both sides now have 14 days to file an appeal. Mallya is wanted in India for defaulting on loans to the tune of 9,000 crore rupees. The investigative agencies have accused Mallya of siphoning off loan proceeds. Joining us to take this discussion forward, Congress spokesperson Salman Soz, BJP spokesperson Narendra Taneja, TDP spokesperson Lanka Dinakaran, who will be joining us to talk about not just this, but also the meeting of the opposition parties ahead of the Parliament session, which resumes tomorrow. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining us here on the programme. Narendra Taneja, I'll start by asking you, big relief for the government. Of course, pending appeal, the extradition process will, of course, get started now for Vijay Mallya.
Yeah, you see, yesterday, as you know, it was Christian Michel, now it's Vijay Mallya. The government is very serious about all such characters. You know, the people who have run away with different guys. I think this guy has run away with public money, 9,000 crores, serious amount of money. And CBI has done a fantastic job. And I think as a country, we must compliment the CBI, Enforcement Directorate, Ministry of External Affairs, all wings and arms of the government of India involved in this. And it's an unprecedented, it's historic decision. I'm told that it's the first extradition actually to India on merit. I'm told the other one was on consent. So it's historic in many ways. And secondly, it also sends out a very strong message to all those people who have been doing these kind of things. At the same time, importantly, look at, for instance, all the major things that the court they have established, like conspiracy. They said it's money laundering, and they also say there is no evidence of any political agenda. This is important. It's coming from the court in the UK. You see, so I think the message is clear, important. Yeah. You know, as we all know, Vijay Mallya is Congress party's child. Congress created Vijay Mallya, but the good thing is now that he will now eventually come back and hopefully return money that belongs to the people of this country and the poor middle class depositors of the public sector banks. And of course, I'm sure the employees also must be very happy, employees of Kingfisher.
Well, whether the public sector banks do manage to get money that is due to them and whether the employees get their dues, that, of course, is the big important takeaway from today's proceedings. Vijay Mallya's extradition pending appeal, that process has started. Salman Soz, does it, in a sense, put a dent in the works as far as the Congress Party's campaign is concerned? You've, of course, been talking about how this government has failed to go after the corrupt, to go after big business. You accuse the government of facilitating Vijay Mallya's exit out of the country. Does your campaign lose some steam today?
Not at all. You know, I don't think Indians should be rewarding any government for bringing back offenders who the government has actually let out of this country. You know, I remember those heady days of 2014 when Prime Minister Modi...
Sorry, just one second, Salman. Sorry to interrupt you. The Finance Minister speaking on exactly this issue. Let's just listen.
He escaped out of this country. The campaign was, why are you not being able to get him back? Well, you were the culprits in giving the loans. You created a system where people like this could prosper. And we have succeeded now in getting him back. It's a proud moment for India. आज इस देश के लिए बहुत गौरव का विषय है कि लंदन की जिस अदालत का फैसला आया है कि कोई भी व्यक्ति भारत के साथ बेईमानी करेगा, इसकी अर्थव्यवस्था के साथ बेईमानी करेगा, हमारी बैंकिंग व्यवस्था के साथ बेईमानी करेगा और चाहेगा कि मैं दुनिया के किसी कोने में जाकर छुप जाऊं, तो इस देश में इतनी क्षमता है और इस देश की नैतिकता में इतनी क्षमता है कि ये उसको वहां से भी ढूंढ लाएगी। ये याद रहे कि ये वो लोन हैं जो यूपीए कार्यकाल में जो सेकंड रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग, दूसरी रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग एक डिलिंक्वेंट बोरोवर को दी गई, वो डिफॉल्ट कर चुका था, फिर एक रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग दी गई जिसके आधार पर उसको इतना पैसा मिला और पैसा वापस करने की बजाय उसने सब के सब हिंदुस्तान से वो स्वयं भाग गया। और आज उसके वापस आने से ये भी साबित हो गया कि जो श्री राहुल गांधी ने अभियान छेड़ा था झूठ और फरेब का, कि जैसे मौजूदा सरकार का दोष है, अरे हम तो उसको लाने में लगे हुए थे, आप उसके सामने पैसा लुटाने वाले थे, तो आज उनका सर भी शर्म से झुक जाना चाहिए कि मोदी जी की सरकार को इस देश के लिए इतनी बड़ी सफलता प्राप्त हुई है। Government has
well, that's the finance That's the finance minister reacting to the Vijay Mallya extradition order that's come in from the UK. Rahul Gandhi ka sar sharam se jhuk jana chahiye, Salman Soz. That's the word in from the finance minister.
You know, this is the government actually that should bow its head in shame. Not only did they let Mallya, Choksi and other people go out, I think now they'll try and gain credit for actually doing what they should be doing as a matter of duty. They let these people out. What we should remember is that in 2014, the BJP said that they would bring back black money after 150 days. Nobody talks about black money anymore. Now good money is actually going out of the country. People who took good money, now they're going out of the country. Now we're bringing one person at a time. What happened to all that money that they promised us? Nothing. So nobody talks about black money. Nobody talks about the hundreds of lakhs of crores or whatever they were saying, billions of dollars. Nothing. So what happened to that? If the finance minister has any shame, he should talk about it.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Mr. H.P. Ranina as well. Mr. Ranina, thanks very much for joining us, corporate lawyer as well as former member of the RBI board. Mr. Ranina, before I talk to you about Urjit Patel's resignation, I want to talk to you about the extradition order that's come in from the UK government. 14 days for an appeal to be filed. That is the option available to Vijay Mallya. We also understand that the UK Home Secretary will be sent the extradition order. But do you believe in your assessment that it's now pretty much a done deal as far as his extradition is concerned?
No, I would not say it's a done deal because the right to appeal is there. And as you know now, the courts will break for the Christmas vacation. So if in 14 days he will file the appeal around 24th of December. And then the matter will come up only in January because the courts will be closed. And therefore, I don't think that he's going to come back very soon. And he will, of course, exercise the right of appeal. There's no doubt about it. He has said it in very clear terms. And the matter will go on for another few months.
Yes. Okay, so you believe that this is not a done deal yet, and it could still take a few months before, if the higher court also rules against Vijay Mallya and orders his extradition. So it's still a few months away before we could see Vijay Mallya returning to India.
The only thing is that the higher courts will now not have a day-to-day hearing. In England, the procedure is that they go by the record, they will go through the judgment of the Westminster court, and they will then, maybe just a day or two will be given for arguments, and then they will they'll give the verdict. So I think it will happen quite fast once the case is listed for hearing. And there won't be that day-to-day hearing which went on Westminster court.
Could Mr. Mallya's legal team bring to bear any fresh points to bolster his case, points that may not have been made in the lower court? I'm alluding to the fact that we've seen developments within the CBI that have transpired post the proceedings that have been underway at the Westminster's court. So can the Mallya legal team, for instance, use that as leverage?
No, the High Court will only decide on questions of law, and the factual position will be as it has been recorded by the Westminster Court. So that is why I think that the process will be quite fast now, and there won't be any possibility of any fresh facts or any other issue being brought before the higher court. That they will not entertain at all. Because as I said, there will be no hearing, there will be no day-to-day, working of the court. They will go by the record and then they will decide.
Okay, so no fresh points of view could perhaps be bolstered by the Mallya team. It will be what has been the verdict by the lower court that will be taken up by the higher court on points of law. Narendra Taneja, very quickly now, as you just heard there from Mr. Ranina, that this may still take a few more months. So it's not as if Vijay Mallya is going to return to India tomorrow or even in the next few days. It could still be a few months away. So what is going to be the strategy now politically as far as the BJP is concerned to use this?
Well, it's nothing to do with politics. Here is a man who has run away with public money, and we need to bring him back. I mean, the Congress created him, Congress helped him. He's a Congress child. So
no, I mean, you are going to make this an issue on the campaign trail, are you not? You are going to make this an issue on the campaign trail, are you not?
No. Our issues are different. Our issues are, all related to the day-to-day problem of the people, infrastructure, economy, rural distress. Those are our issues which are more important. Vijay Mallya, somebody created by Congress.
Okay,
this guy needs to be brought back to India.
Just a second, Mr. Taneja. Vijay Mallya reacting outside the Westminster court. Let's just listen in.
It would be very appropriate for me to pass messages to the Indian government via the media.
Are you still
prepared to
still
pay
back
back the banks and to pay the employees?
If they began negotiations,
You said that has nothing to do with the order today?
While the legal battle is on, if they were to make a negotiation or try and recover the money, would you cooperate, Mr. Mallya?
I have already filed a comprehensive settlement application in the Karnataka High Court, who has kindly agreed to consider the settlement application. And as I said before to you, put my assets on the table, ask the court to decide on a settlement, pay off employees and creditors.
Mr. Jaitley,
You just said, Mr. Mallya, a short while back that paying the employees is your first priority. Does that remain your first priority despite this order?
Mr. Jaitley has tweeted that nobody can cheat India. Do you have anything to say to him at all? Considering he is your former colleague and a friend.
And you met him, you said
He
before you
hasn't
came.
addressed a tweet to me, so I don't see why I should comment on it.
Mr. Mallya,
is paying back your employees still your first priority? You said a short while back that is your first priority. Will this have any bearing on that, or does that remain your priority?
That is a priority, my friend, because the amount payable to the employees is very small as compared to the banks.
When you say small, how small?
We have applied to the court on 2 different occasions in the last 2 years, specifically asking court's permission to use monies deposited with the courts to pay employees. We did not get the permission, but anyway, it also forms part of our settlement offer now, where we are requesting the court to make a comprehensive settlement to the employees as well as to the creditors. Okay?
So if the employees haven't been paid, is it the courts that are responsible?
The lawyers are going to decide that.
Do you think there's a question that the CBI might still be called into question, their integrity?
Sir?
Do you think the integrity of the CBI may still perhaps be called into question? Could that be one of the planks of your appeal, given recent events?
Jonathan, let the lawyers decide what we are going to do. And what we are going to do, basically, after they have reviewed and after they have decided on the way forward and the law points to bring, you will know, because the judicial process in this country, as you know, is public.
Okay. You seem very calm, though, despite the events. You seem incredibly calm. We were fairly shocked by this.
But you can do.
And you seem the calmest person here. There must be a thought in your mind that the events have gone against you now.
Enough of questioning on what I feel.
But Mr. Mallya, were you expecting this?
I think.
Well, that's Vijay Mallya. They're speaking outside the Westminster's court, saying that they are looking at their legal options. As we pointed out, they have 14 days to make an appeal to a higher court. Lanka Dinakaran, spokesperson of the TDP, also with us. Mr. Dinakaran, this was part of the sort of presentation that your party, along with other opposition parties, also put together, that the government has failed to bring back offenders, economic offenders, so to speak. So, again, the question that I put to Salman Soz, does it take a little bit of the wind out of your campaign?
Who had supported Vijay Mallya to become Rajya Sabha member from Karnataka, under whose government Mallya did go London. Let Arun Jaitley ji shall be spelt out that what he had spoken with Mallya before going out of the nation. Just extradition is not a reward that can be climbed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley ji cannot write off their failures by unilateral demonetization, by undermining the RBI independence, and why today RBI governor resigned.
My question was on Vijay Mallya. I'm coming to that issue, but my question to you was on Vijay Mallya. But Narendra Taneja, let me get a quick word in from you as far as Vijay Mallya is concerned. So who's next on the priority list? Is it Mehul Choksi? Is it Nirav Modi? Who's next?
All of them. There are many more. Their names are not well known, but there are many more. The point, each one of them. And my sense is, my personal sense is Vijay Mallya, you're going to see him in Bombay, very close to your office, in prison, sooner than you think. Just wait for some time. My sense is it's going to happen faster than you think. Number two point is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi and others, they may run a campaign, the government this and all that. There is no big deal. Mr. Rahul Gandhi says it's no big deal. Yes, it's no big deal for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But it's a big deal for the employees of the Kingfisher. It's a big deal for the depositor of the public sector bank. And it's a very big deal for the country. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if he has guts, he should come forward and congratulate CBI, congratulate ED, congratulate Ministry of External Affairs and the government of India. But Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a rich man. He belongs to the billionaires party. So of course for him, 9,000 crore is nothing. It's peanuts for him. We know that. But for us,
I don't know about that anymore. The Congress party's net worth has seen some significant erosion, so I don't know about that anymore. Salman, so as a quick final comment on the Vijay Mallya matter.
Well, on that, so Mr. Taneja says that Vijay Mallya was Congress's baby. Of course, if that were true, then why did they support him to become a member of the Rajya Sabha? They fed him and then facilitated his travel outside the country after an encounter with the finance minister. So I don't really want to get into, I don't think we need to congratulate the Modi government anymore. They congratulate each other all the time. They have enough propaganda going on. So I think I don't want to get into this. What I do want to say is this government has really supported big businesses. Whereas,
but there's nothing wrong with supporting big business.
Wait a second. It's not about that. No. What I'm saying is, how about doing the same thing for poor people who are marginalized, who don't have a voice?
They don't have to be. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. That's my point. My limited point.
But let me ask you this.
If they really care,
why do they have all the money going through electoral bonds to BJP? Please tell me.
Somebody
should answer that question.
We're digressing into
that is crony capitalism, right? That is crony capitalism. That is Modi capitalism.
No, we're digressing into whole
about the farmhouse.
Into issues that are not connected to Vijay Mallya, where there is a court order. There is a court order. I don't want to address that. Sir, we're in limited time on the show. There is a court order in the Vijay Mallya matter, which is what we're discussing here. Public rift with the government. RBI Governor Urjit Patel has resigned, citing personal reasons. The resignation comes days ahead of a crucial board meeting that was meant to discuss the progress on issues raised by the board's government nominees last month. Prime Minister Modi called Patel a thorough professional with impeccable integrity who leaves behind a great legacy. Finance Minister Jaitley said it was a pleasure to deal with Urjit Patel and benefit from his scholarship. Former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan told CNBC TV 18 that the governor's resignation is a statement of dissent. Another former governor, C. Rangarajan, told us that he is shocked and surprised over the resignation. Still with us, Congress spokesperson Salman Soz, TDP spokesperson Lanka Dinakaran, and editorial director of the Business Standard, A.K. Bhattacharya, also former RBI board member and corporate lawyer H.P. Ranina. But before we get to that, let's hear out the finance minister on this issue.
The government deeply acknowledges the great services that he has rendered to India, its economy, in several capacities, more particularly as the Governor of the Reserve Bank and the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank. My own experience in dealing with Dr. Patel was indeed a very delightful one because I interacted with him very frequently and benefited greatly from his scholarship. The Reserve Bank is a very important institution in the economic management of this country. Its professional judgment is of immense importance to us. The government and the RBI regularly consult in order to steer the national economy. And I'm sure we'll all remember the services that Dr. Patel has given to this country. I wish him all the very best.
Well, that's the finance minister on Urjit Patel's resignation. Let me go across to Mr. Ranina. Mr. Ranina, as a former board member of the Reserve Bank of India, what do you make of Urjit Patel's resignation, the manner in which he has tendered in his resignation as well?
Well, certainly it has come as a great surprise. as to why he had to resign abruptly with immediate effect. He could have said that he would resign by the end of this year or by the end of March, whatever may be the reason. But this sudden, abrupt manner of resignation leaves a lot to be desired and a lot of questions are raised. And it becomes difficult to accept the argument that he has resigned for personal reasons. Without what those personal reasons are, nobody can fathom. So really, it's a very unfortunate thing, especially when the board meeting was scheduled for the 14th of December in Calcutta, and where corporate governance issues were going to be discussed at the board meeting. So really, it's really perplexing as to why he has resigned so abruptly and so soon. Let's wait for him to clarify.
What would be crucial now? I don't know if he is going to issue any clarification beyond the statement that he's issued. He very rarely breaks his silence. But Mr. Ranina, what do you believe is going to be crucial now as the government sets on the path of finding Urjit Patel's replacement?
Well, they'll take time to find somebody. In the meanwhile, the senior-most deputy governor will attend to the affairs of the RBI and chair the board meeting on 14th of December. But apart from that, I think they will take time to find a successor because he will have to be cleared by the security agencies. It will have to go to the committee for appointments by the government, by the cabinet committee of appointments. So that is a time-consuming process. I don't think a new governor will be appointed soon.
You don't believe that a new governor will be appointed that quickly, but Salman Soz, a lot of the opposition parties had criticized and severely criticized Governor Urjit Patel for the manner in which demonetization was taken forward, handled. But today, opposition parties stand united in criticizing the government for Urjit Patel's resignation. Is this going to be an issue that will be taken up in Parliament when the session resumes tomorrow?
I think so, and it should, because this is not. This is a very serious matter. I think the governor, this personal reason. We know what the personal reason is. When you put quacks in the RBI and make them sit right next to the governor, what is the governor supposed to do? This is an educated man. This is a qualified man. This is an exceptionally talented person. Then you bring quackery into the RBI. You're forced to, I think, leave. What are you going to do? So I think the Parliament should kind of discuss it. But, this is part of a pattern. If you look at what happened just recently when the government has come up with a revised GDP data, nobody believes it. When senior people, independent people tell you that you need to establish a commission to find out what happened with the government's economic data, that tells you that there's something wrong with our institutions. And who can you blame except for the Modi government? I don't think this is Urjit Patel's fault. Yes, he should have resigned, I think, when demonetization was going to happen. But that's why we kind of were concerned about that. But now that he was there, they were trying to do something. But, I don't know. It's a very disappointing day.
Mr. Bodke, a quick reaction from you on Governor Patel's resignation and the repercussions from here on.
Well, I think, Shireen, it might create a temporary flutter in the markets because the markets are sort of, waiting expectantly to know which way the three crucial India heartland states have voted. And let's not forget that there are a host of global headwinds like escalating trade war between China and the US. And tomorrow also is the crucial parliamentary vote on Brexit. And there are already fears of slowdown in global economic growth in 2019. So there is a heightened risk aversion for risk assets like equities. But at the same time, I feel that the macroeconomic fundamentals of India remain extremely robust, and no individual is greater than an institution. So I think we will be able to tide over this mini crisis, in my opinion. And lastly, I think the government needs to urgently appoint an eminent economist, preferably someone who has decades of administrative experience of shouldering various responsibilities in the government, and can adroitly manage the differences between the government and at the same time defend the institution's economy.
This is all in the realm of speculation, Ajay. We have no confirmation whatsoever. But the names that one is hearing of in the corridors of power in the capital, and once again, I'm caveating this, we have no confirmation, but the speculation is that people like the former Finance Secretary Shaktikanta Das, who's now a member of the Finance Commission, perhaps even serving bureaucrats, maybe the Economic Affairs Secretary Subhash Chandra Garg, who happens to be on the RBI board as well. I mean, if the replacement were to go down that line, how would the markets react? And we don't know when it's going to happen or whether or not this is in fact true.
I think both the names that you mentioned are of very eminent civil servants who have served for decades at various senior roles in the government. And let's not forget that the likes of Dr. Manmohan Singh or Dr. Bimal Jalan, Dr. Y.V. Reddy, Dr. Subbarao, or in fact Ms. S. Venkataramanan, all of them were senior civil servants who had served previously in the finance ministry, and they had managed to balance both the seemingly tough choices of maintaining the autonomy of the RBI and at the same time adroitly managing the differences with the government.
Yes, that could be a possibility, but once again, as I pointed out, there is no confirmation at this point in time. What we do have a clarification on is the fact that Deputy Governor Viral Acharya has not resigned yet. I mean, there has been no resignation that's come in from Viral Acharya so far. So, Ajay, very quickly, final words from you. You believe that the markets will react more to the election verdict, and if the election verdict is in line with what we saw the exit polls say, then what kind of price action do you estimate?
Yeah, I think the market, Shireen, has already discounted the worst. That is, in the 3 Hindi heartland states, the BJP is going to lose. In case the verdict turns out to be different and the BJP is able to hold on to Chhattisgarh and MP, then I think the market will heave a sigh of relief, and there could sort of, be the downside will certainly be arrested. But as I said, the global headwinds are against us. Let's wait and see how the Wall Street closes tonight.
All right, we'll see how Wall Street closes. And so far, it's not looking good as far as Wall Street is concerned. HP Ranina, Ajay Bodke, Mr. Dinakaran, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18 with your thoughts on the big stories of the day. Governor Urjit Patel's resignation and Vijay Mallya's extradition.